country.
Well, some of them didn't want to go, and there was a lot of talent, especially in poets and other things. But I tell you what, although I said that I didn't like sport, that's not actually strictly true. I used to love to watch, at Edgbaston and Lourdes and stuff like that, and I liked to watch it on the village green. It calmed me down, and it's the essence.
It's
one of the
essences
of England. The real,
and they used to wear white, all of them.
Yeah, I mean,
with a border on the sweater, pullovers and all. Now in India it's green and pink and blue. Would you say that cricket, along with other games, has become excessively commercialized?
I think without a doubt.
In India particularly, film actors are buying people like slaves.
Which is incredible, isn't it? I mean, it's like Spice FM buying Graham onions for £5
a kilo.
You're not getting paid for this. He gets me every week and doesn't even get a cup of tea.
No, that's not part of the rules. No, I mean, obviously
we do this for fun. I mean, Malcolm is a regular.
Has changed.
Have you played in the IPL?
I haven't. No.
Would you like?
So shall I ask Shah Rukh Khan to call you over?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah, just give him a call. Try and get him on.
Shah Rukh bhai. Oh, you're busy. Okay.
But yeah, I mean. The sad thing now is everybody loves Test match cricket, and it's the, as we say, it's the white clothing, and it's the longer form of the game. It is a test.
Slow and steady, as Malcolm quite rightly points out. The willow, the sound of the leather, and the tuck sound, and everything.
It's just something about it.
It's very gentlemanly, slow pace. It's like meditational.
It's hard for some people to understand that you can sit and watch a game for 5 days that is quite slow paced.
But it's
one of my ambitions, and I achieved it, although I ended up having a heart attack a few weeks later. I don't think it's related. I was at the Ashes Test in Adelaide, 2013, and while we got thrashed, it was still a great occasion to go there every day, and we were almost beaten on day one.
Yeah.
But you go there every day, and you get the feeling of everybody's still fighting for it, even right down to last minute.
But it's involvement, and it's almost meditational.
It is.
The slow-paced things make you get. It's like moving wallpaper.
You don't concentrate on the whole time. You cannot sit and watch every. Well, you do.
Whereas
you might drift off a bit, and then you come round, and then.
But it's a game of chess.
Very much so.
So 5 days, the best team will generally win. I know there's draws, and people say, "Well, how can there be a draw after 5 days?" But it's a serious
and the
skill
strategy and planning and putting the right player.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the captain's job is.
Yeah.
Is to put the right player.
Yeah.
The opposite is like boxing, which is total contact, extremely violent.
Over in seconds sometimes.
Over in seconds, and it's very high adrenaline. Whereas cricket is where it's smooth moving, as Malcolm was pointing. That is on the village green, and
it's the whole atmosphere.
Yeah.
Obviously, you haven't played Test cricket. What's your opinion of the 2020 50-50? I call it 50. What's your preference in all that?
Yeah, well, the pinnacle for every cricketer, and you can ask anybody, is Test match cricket. Without a doubt, it is.
Even though it's probably not as popular publicly as the other stuff.
Yeah, because people think, well, 5 days. How can that go on for 5 days? But we. In my eyes, and I think every cricketer's eyes, Test match cricket is the best, and it is absolutely imperative that we keep it. Because they're talking about maybe reducing it, so just reducing and get rid of a lot of the stats, just to have four-day Test matches, and it's really quite sad because it's gone on for many years.
I think it's unfortunate this year that the two games have only just gone on just over 2 days, because I think that as much as the swashbuckling style of the 50 over and the 2020 is good to see, and it was. You talked about it being like chess. The Jeff boycotts of the past that and you probably saw him some point in your life. I don't know, at the end of it, but he was solid, and you were playing a lot of defensive stuff, but it was still intriguing to watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why games needed 5 days. You played 5 days, and you got to draw after 5 days, and it wasn't even raining. Whereas now, like that game. When Australia were up for 60, it was 2.5 days. End of game.
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly a time and a place for T20 and or 2020 or 50 over cricket, because you've got to remember that people who pay the bills and pay the wages and stuff are people who want to watch that. Cricket in India and Asian countries is lucrative. It's massive.
Sure, because of the numbers.
It hasn't
just purely numbers.
Yet,
big
but
companies.
I think it still could, because I mean in Australia, they have
a big bash.
They're getting 50,000 at some of them games, but it's very much family going. I think it's. Whether it's more because it's in the cities, whereas here it's spread, Chester Street's not the capital of the world, but I guess the other places and the other counties is the same. And it was interesting. Birmingham changed it. Well, Warwickshire changed the name to Birmingham. Whether they were trying to put a city hook on it.
No, I think they probably are.
Yeah, but who are Durham? You know, what is it? Durham? It's be called Durham.
Yeah. Well, this is. I mean, if I was Durham's chief executive, and you got asked the question, you know, what is the most lucrative? I think as a cricket club, you would probably admit that one-day cricket, and especially T20, is where you get the young kids coming through in the crowds. They want to watch that now because that's all they see on TV.
Well, that's the tolerance. It's you know, like talking about the patience of having even a one-day game to go. It's still best part of 8 hours is a one-day game. Whereas you know, it's 3 hours roughly. So it's similar to the length of a football match, a rugby match. You're away for 2.5, 3 hours at the most. So it's what. But I think it ought to be a way of getting people into it, and you know, I think that's probably the plan behind it.
If you've got a young kid like my son who says, I don't want to play cricket, or I'll play cricket if I can play T20 or the shorter form of the game, I'd say you go and play cricket. Because it's if you're pushing people away from the Test match side, then it's the wrong thing to do. So, but the way, as we've seen around the world, the big competitions and the big bashes and the IPLs that's the way it's going. I just hope that they don't get rid of the
actual cricket,
the actual proper cricket.
Proper cricket, the classical cricket.
As long as the crowds continue to turn up for Test matches, but I think the problem is it doesn't seem to be the case other than like England, Australia, India. You know, there's a hand. You're not going to get all the countries playing against each other and getting big crowds. That's the sad bit about it. England, Australia,
there's a headline,
not going to be a problem.
There's a headline I'm reading which says, even without Graham Onions, Durham's bowling attack. I mean, when do they put headlines with someone who's missing? Normally they profile. So you're so big.
Now. Mark Wood's now with England, so you know, then they're still produced another. Who's Rushforth? He's the latest guy.
He's Rushy's doing fantastically well.
He was on the brink of the Test side, wasn't he? It's earlier this year.
Yeah, I mean, for 20-year-old county, I mean, we've like Harmison, Collingwood, we had Liam Plunkett, myself, we had Phil Mustard. We had obviously Mark Wood and Ben Stokes now, and Scott Borthwick. I mean, you're talking almost a whole Test site there, really.
It's great.
That one man, Jeff Cook, who's an absolute legend, he's a hero. Has basically nurtured these young lads to come through the academies, and produce some amazing cricketers, really. And Jeff has been the pinnacle of that. He's the forefront of that, and he's just kept on pushing us, challenge us as players, and I suppose that, you know, as we do as parents, you constantly challenge your kids, but he did that as a coach, and he actually made you learn yourself. A lot of coaches nowadays tell you what to do, where he would say,
so that is more like instruction. This is like encouraging you to learn for yourself.
Because when you get in tough positions,
well,
you have to
that's called a Socratic style of teaching. I used to teach medical students, and in one, the lecturer, the big professor, is giving his lecture, and everyone's at least mentally or some physically. But if you challenge them and say, what do you know? You tell me. What do you want to learn?
What do you think about
Tell
this?
me, what do you think about this?
Yes.
It wakes up everybody.
The secret is making it interesting.
Yes, yes.
Whatever you,
It can be music. It can be anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of teaching, well, quite a bit, and all the time I thought, don't give them just facts and figures. And at the start of the teaching program, I would turn around and I'd go, look, if you do the work, at the end we'll go in and we'll bring it alive.
Yeah.
And the parents used to come in and go,
How did you do it?
How did you do that?
Because I'm not a parent telling them what to do.
No. It's bringing going
them out.
Look, at Hastings there was this one standing here, and this crowd, and they were doing this, that, and the other.
You enliven it.
Bring it to life.
Yeah.
The good teachers. I did a little bit of further education teaching, and I'm getting a qualification a few years ago, and one of the things I really learned was things like differentiation. You probably know that term.
He's using posh words here.
What you get is a class of kids or adults, whatever it is. Everybody's different in how they learn, and the key is from a teaching point of view is to make it interesting for everybody, and that's the difficulty. Like you say, some people like the numbers, some people like to see pictures, some people like music, sound, audio. You know, and it's difficult to get it balanced. And if you can do that, the good teachers can do that.
Malcolm and I are not doing it today because Graham's here and the Mela and so on. We've done Indian classical music, in which you have no training.
No.
Okay. So what I did was take some Hindi film songs which are in different rag, which are certain modalities, And for 1 hour, he's got
Modals.
his capo and he takes the modes and he plays with them. Then for half an hour, I put some Indian classical music to which he accompanies. And then last 20 minutes, I say play, and he's just playing. So it's a bit, I'm not Ravi Shankar, he's not George Harrison. I mean, he's closer to George Harrison than I am to Ravi Shankar. But you got a sense of it.
Yeah.
You did get a sense of it in your mind.
Doc, I think so, because all my life, I mean, no disrespect, although I was born in this country, although I don't sound it.
He sounds American, he's born in South Shields.
And I've lived all over the world.
Arabia in particular.
Middle East,
Middle
Cyprus,
East,
Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Qatar, Bahrain, and I learned some languages.
Love the way you say Qatar.
Well,
It's a perfect, you know, that guttural sound.
that's the only people that have it. India doesn't have it. Turkey doesn't have it. Iran doesn't have it.
My name is Khan.
It's Khan.
Epiglottis,
Khan.
epiglottis.
Everybody goes. It's Genghis. I said it's Genghis Khan. Khan.
I shouldn't people have got it.
And they don't know.
You don't realize it.
Oh, is it actually?
But the one thing I learned about it was that I listened to Iranian music and Turkish music, Arabic music, and they're all different. If you hear them, to the European ear, they go, it's all the same. I said, but it's not. They all have a different rhythm to them and an intricacy. Arabic is the most intricate of them all. And then you have Indian music as well. And they're not far away from each other, especially Islamic Indian music. And Hindu music, I mean, music in itself they're very, very similar in many ways. And it's the intricacies that you have to hear and learn.
But you see, the same thing can be applied to sports. If Graham now decides to play chess,
Yeah.
or something which doesn't involve his spine or his knee, you still got some titanium in your spine, haven't you?
So that'll
Yeah.
not come out. Yeah,
It
I'll beep every now and again. I go through.
So when you go through customers, what happens? I was going to ask.
yeah. Oh, it's not Graham Onions again, is it?
No. Oh, they know.
They know.
Okay. So, but you've got that sense, that timing, that kinesthetic sense. Maybe you'll play ping pong, but you'll play better than me because you've got that body trained and your mind and body connected.
I just think it's passionate. I mean, obviously yourself for music and that passion about it, and then it makes you want to actually not just play.
Do it for
makes
someone
you maybe
else.
want to get better and
You want to
learn
enjoy it and the
Yeah,
process. Yes.
absolutely.
So because if
So
you,
the
if
same
you-
thing holds, you know, if you enjoy teaching. I've done a TEFLs, by the way, I'll have you know.
Petals. I'm a petals man.
I've done
You were
TEF-
Tefls.
Yes.
Which is better?
I don't know, petals,
Petals is the
TEFLs.
start, I think.
Okay.
I'll just say, like, obviously, like you're a trained doctor, and people would say, well, why on earth would you not want to be a doctor? That's a great.
I had
profession.
enough. I've done enough.
Yeah, but you enjoy this, don't you?
But I enjoyed
so,
it. I didn't do medicine for pushing tablets or earning money. I enjoyed people. I'm still enjoying. In fact, I'm enjoying this more.
but because you got a passion,
Because that same transferable skills.
and it comes
Yes.
down to the
Yes.
way you teach up and
Yes.
going out and you find something that you love and you be as good as
So
you
whether
can
it's
be.
making movies or doing the radio or whatever, if you put your whole self into it, as if that's all that matters.
I think you learn. I mean, I work in IT for most of my life, and I don't really do that much for the last 10 years. I've done other stuff, but I think you learn certain things and understanding about people's interaction and that sort of stuff that can transfer into anything.
And I think you have to know what people really like at the bottom, at the basics.
So you have to find out.
Yes,
Yes.
You have to reach out.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
much so.
So a teacher, a doctor, a solicitor have to reach outside of themselves.
Of course.
What's the hot button? I always used to call it that. What's somebody's hot button? If you can find the hot button, what turns them on? What gets
Yes.
them
Excuse me,
excited?
we're not talking about G-spots. It's time for a
I
break.
taught a hot button. Then
Red Hot
when you-
Radio. Spice FM 98.8 FM. It's Red Hot Radio. Spice FM 98.8 FM.
Happiness hit her like a train on a track.
We are still with Graham Onions for another half an hour, then we'll be packing off to the Mela. So, Graham, we were talking about passion. I believe that if you got your talent and passion and hard work, it doesn't feel like hard work, does it?
No.
You're flowing with it. You know, when Shearer kicks the ball into the goal like that, the ball, the Shearer, the goalpost, the process become one. That's called meditation. He's not separate from the process. Is that how you feel when you're bowling?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, as I said, I don't know whether or not I can do this again, and I said that in one of my interviews. And when I was a young lad learning my trade, I generally did think like that. But as you get older, and I've been looking to stay in the game, is you think, well, actually, I think back to the tough times,
Yes.
and I think, well, actually, I love that challenge, and I want to do that. And I mean, we start a game tomorrow against Hampshire at Durham, and if my first 4 balls go for 4 or 6 or whatever happens
Against you.
against
You
me,
bowl and they hit
no,
sixes against you.
Yeah, you have to enjoy
But
the
how
challenge.
does that feel when the audience is, "Ugh."
What? No, they go boo.
They boo it. How does that feel? Are you just past that stage?
No, it
Does that not anger you?
absolutely, yeah.
It makes you annoyed.
Of course it
I'll
does.
show you, little
it-
prats.
It's the same thing.
It's the same feeling,
It's
yeah.
it's exactly the same thing. It's because but you have to international, especially, or for Durham, you have to stay in control of your emotions.
Uh-huh.
If you're playing the guitar and you miss your tune, you just have to you have to think, oh, never mind, I'll keep on
Well,
going.
I was once
Or
playing the
whatever.
guitar
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
snapped a
absolutely.
string. You know, Malcolm, I was in Patna Medical College in 1972.
Yeah.
And it snapped and I was fixing it. So one fellow was saying, if you don't know how to dance, don't blame the floor. One fellow shouted. I said, you come and play. He was the biggest bad guy in the medical school. But
Yeah,
all the girls, I had to impress the girls. I said, you come and play. So I'd like to do this to Simon Cowell. I want to go and sing badly, and I said, you come up here. Because, it's easy to judge others. It's
Yeah.
very difficult. When I see little children go up and they smirk, I feel
Yeah.
very sad,
Yeah.
I mean, you see all these shows in India, particularly children of 5 and 6,
Yeah.
having the courage to go up on stage in front of the glaring lights. You should be kind to them. They at least have the courage, even if they're singing badly, who cares?
Yes.
But we are very critical, we are very competitive. I mean, I think sports is for everyone.
No,
I think
we are.
everyone doesn't have to be graham onions, but we should be inspired by you to play, or by Ravi Shankar to play, or by you.
If I can inspire one person,
Yes, you've done your job.
then I've done my job. I feel as
Yeah.
though, my career, and you want to raise money for charities,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you want to put
You look
smiles
after
on
your
people's
family, you
faces.
have a car and all
Of course
that.
you
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
but
yeah. But that's not what inspires you.
if someone says, I want to be like Graham Onions, like I want to be like a Darren Goff,
Uh-huh.
then that gives you that.
But that is
Like,
what.
like-
Well, it's
shivers
modelling,
down your back.
isn't it? That's what
Yeah,
they call
yeah.
modelling. So that
Yes,
you find
yeah.
somebody that's an icon or whatever
Yes.
you want to call it for yourself.
A model,
and then,
yes.
Then you create the new icon, and
Yes.
that hopefully other people will latch onto. And like you say, if you go into game coaching and whether it's a young kid or somebody that's later in the career, and you help to develop them into the next stage, that's an achievement.
Yeah.
So, as a sportsman, who is the sportsman you model yourself after? If I have to name one name.
Well, I've got two. Can I have two?
Oh, yeah, you can. Be greedy.
Well, no, I mean, throughout my career, I've always Darren Goff was my hero.
Tell me about
And-
Darren
and-
Goff. What's the name that you want
Well-
or have acquired?
Honestly, as a young kid growing up, he played and gave it 100%, and you could tell.
So you can
that.
see his passion
His
and
passion.
100% commitment.
But he always had a smile on his face, and for me, that is
In India there's Dhoni,
a model.
who doesn't jump or spit, just a slight wry smile, and that's it. Do you know why? He does yoga.
Is that right?
But Dhoni has had a rough time recently of his association with some cricket clubs, and
Right.
is he making money out of it, and all those slurs are coming out, and his wife was sitting next to a villain who I mean, all that negativity, and yet you don't see anything but a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Because he actually practices yoga.
Yeah.
So I think, and I've been quite involved, luckily, with golf more than cricket, of course, to teach people how to breathe.
Yeah.
Just like pianists, if you're doing the Alexander technique
I know
or
what you
something.
mean. I do Pilates and stuff, so I know.
Oh,
what
you
mean.
do?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Because of all my injuries, my back problems, I do Pilates, so that's all about breathing.
But the link with you is through Masood Mirza.
That's right. Yes.
Lovely guy,
Yeah,
and
very nice guy.
I known him as my patient for years and years and years. And because he's in cricket and connected with chaps like Bob Brar, Bunty Malhotra, and all these guys, and who are in cricket and who are past it in cricket but encourage their children
Yeah,
and
of
other
course,
people's
yeah.
children.
Yeah.
So if there was a Asian children's match or something big like that, would you come and give the prizes away?
Of course I would.
Okay,
Absolutely.
well there we are.
No-
They'd
no-
be
no
delighted
problem.
to hear
Of
that
course,
you're
yeah.
there, and maybe even do one ball just as very stylishly like your logo.
I'll just come and play.
Right,
come
okay,
and
how
play,
are you
no
then?
problem.
How are you then? It'll be nice,
Use it and get in the IPL yet.
Well, yeah, exactly. You never know.
Doreen.
Mirza might hit me out of the park. Like.
Yeah, well, Mirza is not here because he's in London.
That's
They had
right,
that
yeah.
3-day. Tell us, what was that? That was international.
He's doing something to
Another charity
to help
event.
somebody, like a charity, and that's sums
Saturday,
it.
Sunday,
He's
Monday,
he's
3-day
he's a
matches
good
in
guy,
London.
Yeah, he's a nice fella doing his bit for charity, and
Yeah.
that's hats off to him really.
Yes. So it's nice when people link up. I mean, that's the beauty of this show, not this particular show, but this radio station, isn't it, Malcolm?
Yeah, it
I mean,
is.
I don't know you from Adam. You live in some funny place like Horsley. I thought only horses live there, but you know. And they said, you know what? Someone said to me, there's a American fellow wants to speak with you. I thought, God, my Voice of America fellow is coming to see me. It's our fellow doing the road, and then we do shows every week.
Yeah.
And same with Stephen. How did you?
We met at the
Speakers Club.
Toastmasters. Yes, you came along to the A1 speakers, and
that
that was
true.
about the first meeting I'd been back, because I hadn't been for a while,
Okay,
and it was
okay.
about the first meeting I went to last
So
August.
why not
Just
call
to be-
Graham sometimes to do a speech on cricket?
Well, he's welcome to come along. It's you don't tend to have guest speakers. Well, you can, I suppose. Yeah, but you'd be welcome to come along and say. But
I'll say, despite being a sportsman, he speaks quite well.
he said, "Oh yes, could be."
Isn't it? I mean, he's quite
Oh,
fluid.
yes. Actually, when I remember, I said that I didn't know anything about cricket.
Nearer the
Quite
mic,
true.
please. That's it.
Not quite true, and I do recognize your name. And,
Yeah.
Oddly
The
enough.
penny is dropped.
Yes,
See
it
that
did.
poster?
Yes,
Oh.
I'd heard many people mention the name, among others, with cricketers on television, and it didn't register until I'd been in
Right.
here a while.
It is a head writer's dream. It is.
Your name.
Oh,
No. I mean, it's easy to remember, you know.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's very true. I'm as we said earlier, you know, from being a young kid and you know, having the Mickey taken out of me a little bit, and that in itself makes you quite a strong person.
Yes, if you don't succumb to it and feel bullied and so on.
yeah.
Do you not think sports is also immunization against bullying and things like that, because it improves your self-image? If you're good at sports, and if you actually play, it doesn't have to be good. If you're involved in
Just
sports,
take part.
Yes,
Honestly, just
In
take part.
extracurricular activities.
If you're good, then you might enjoy it a little bit more. But
it might be
just
cricket,
taking
it might be
part.
the Spanish guitar. It doesn't have to be cricket. It doesn't have to be that. If you're good in something in school and really good in your class, then if somebody calls you names, do you care? No.
It's
you-
all
you
about
shouldn't.
it's
You
all
shouldn't.
about personal best as well, and that might be not a great thing. You know, there's been an issue in it. There's a thing. Scope are doing this stuff about end the awkward. People don't understand disabled. Scope,
that's
the
the
charity.
people at,
The charity, yeah.
right.
They've done this thing with. Is it Alex Brooker, the guy that's on
Yes.
the last leg?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
They've done some films to try and overcome the awkwardness people have with seeing disabled people, and they're kind of spoof videos that. And there's this girl in the wheelchair, and she's getting her nails. Oh no, she's doing the nails, I think, in this shop. And there's a girl comes in and talks to her. And these are actors, but the rest of the people in the place don't know they're actors, so they're putting it on, they're laying it on, and there's the reaction of the other people. And she talks about. She says, "Oh, you're in a wheelchair. What did you do in the Paralympic Games?" As if everybody that's
Who has
doing
a
sport
wheelchair
in a
goes in.
wheelchair is in the Paralympic
Yeah.
Games, and it's not about that. What the Paralympic Games should have been trying to do is encourage people to just do something.
Just get.
Doesn't
get
matter
out
what
there,
it
yeah.
is, whether
Do it,
it's
yeah.
any sport. Just try and get involved in something, and see, you'll get something out of it. Whatever level you're at.
So you don't have to be the best or the most
don't have to
excellent.
be.
It's
You can-
just-
you can
but
strive
even
for
in
it.
music, Malcolm.
Did you have ambitions to play for England? Was it one of the things at the beginning when you first started playing? Do you think?
I've always said I've got like this little thing I say. I always say to people, be as good as you can be.
Yeah.
I say that to young kids coming up, and I say it to myself, and I just be as good as you can be. So you can narrow that down to say, right, the next ball that I'm going to bowl in the cricket
Is
match
going to be the best
is
I've
going to
ever
be the
done.
best I've ever done. And then you narrow it down, and then ultimately you'll have better days more often than not.
And so it's a
that's-
kind of evolution then, isn't it, really? Because you just keep bowling well, and you start taking fighters, and
Yeah.
the next thing you know, you're getting noticed, and somebody says, "Oh, you got to get
It's
this
who's-
guy
who's
in."
great
And,
money,
yeah,
it's him,
yeah,
who's this guy, and then before you know it, I'm just from a simple thing of
you're
saying,
doing
oh,
what you do.
I'll say, yeah,
It's
do
just
it.
somebody else has decided
So,
you're good enough for England, or
yeah.
Durham first team. Or
I mean, but that's somebody else's. So that's somebody's
Yeah.
decision.
Else's
That's out
decision.
of my hand.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
completely out of my hands.
Yeah.
And
So you're doing your best.
So-
and
they're like,
it's a situation in relation to others at the time. I mean, you take Mark Wood. If Jimmy Anderson hadn't got injured, Mark wouldn't have been the opening bowler in the game when he took the 5 wickets.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, but
Definitely.
you get a break from other players' situations, and there's been probably players over the years that have not got in because somebody in their place was better at that time.
Yeah.
So who's your other inspiration?
Well, the other is just another cricketer, Dale Steyn, and very, very,
What's
very
special about him?
Dale is very similar,
Fast.
really. Is that he's in my eyes, he's the best fast bowler in the world. But also he's a little bit. He's not so much crazy, but he's a very aggressive guy. But you get them.
Is it like the Rawalpindi bowler?
So
So are you ready? Because it's the tour to South Africa, isn't it?
Not talk about him.
Okay.
South African tour coming up, and you want to get back
That's
in,
right.
and you want to get
just
in
to beat them, just to beat them again.
So
But,
are you still like? Well, I mean, you could get the test side, but it's probably late in the season to break through now. But
Yeah.
do they have A tours? Could you go into that sort of thing?
yeah, I mean that's
help
options. I
develop
mean,
younger people, and that would be where you could foot in the door to
yeah,
get across there.
potentially.
And
Well, I did a little bit of stuff with the under-19s. So
Yeah.
the England under-19s, they were playing against Australia, and I did a little bit of coaching
Oh,
with
they
them,
did
and
Durham, didn't
at
they?
Durham, yeah, and I gave two young lads their caps. And the one thing which I would say that Darren Goff, he gave me my England cap. So in my first Ashes test, he gave me my Ashes cap. So he's already my hero. And he gave me my test.
So getting the caps from the hands of your hero is quite.
Which for me was just
quite
like,
an
well,
honour.
this is fantastic.
It's like a gladiator getting a sword
So,
from the king.
It's
It's a similar kind of.
you must feel
bequeathing.
just the same being on the Doc Allen show as well. You know.
Yeah,
very
yeah.
similar. Yeah, I feel absolutely privileged. Very privileged. Very privileged.
They're usually queuing out the door.
So,
Okay, so basically we are saying that people who aspire with the whole heart and soul to do something, whatever it is, whether it's music or sports or being whatever,
I think they'll go to levels that they maybe never knew.
they didn't know. Well, Nelson Mandela said people are not scared of being a failure. They're scared of their own brightness. They're scared of how good they might turn out to be, and that is because of sibling rivalry, I think. Because we are scared if I shine, the other will say, "Who does he think he is?"
That's part of the course, Doc. When I used to play guitar, just after I started out, I was a finger picker. Now I'm a plectrum player. The man upstairs told me and I had it confirmed. But I used to come in and play a 12-string, which I've still got, with fingerstyle, bluegrass. You know bluegrass, the old
Nice.
country banjo picking. I used to do that on a 12-string. And people, and I can go higher than what you heard today, as Doc will tell you. And I went in and I would hear them go, "Oh, here he comes. He's going to show us how to play guitar and sing." And some of them, I saw them put their guitar away. And afterwards they said, "Oh, hey, that was great." I said, "Why did you put your guitar away?"
Why couldn't you participate and join it?
And he says, "I'm not as good as you." I said, "Listen, it doesn't matter.
It's not about competition.
It doesn't matter."
You be the best you can be.
I said, "It doesn't matter. Just carry on." And I said, come and sit down in the other room and play something.
So you took the sting out of their feelings by collaborating rather than competing. Which
And
they,
I heard often when I went in, people would go, he's all right. He's a nice fellow.
it's very hard to be a nice fellow when you're the best around. That's why people hate me.
Doc,
It's true, I mean, if I say something most people want to say, but they get very upset because they wanted to say it first. Well, then say it. In the game we are in this radio station, a
There's
lot
a-
of people think we say.
There's a way of saying things, Doc. And you can, and there's a key. Early in my life, I had this vision of this key, and it's an international
Oh,
key.
but there's fun in teasing,
That's teasing, that's fine, but sometimes don't go too far.
How far is
It
too
can
far?
Well, you have to judge that for yourself.
So it's a,
But
Well, you've got to
when you
judge the
open-
person, haven't you? Because you don't know how far
They'll allow you to go.
before they think you've gone beyond the
and the people
the
you're
limits.
talking to or
Yes.
about.
Yes.
If there's I used to find opening, just saying certain things would open the door. The key would turn, and it would go, "Oh, you're really nice, aren't you?" I said, "You've had a hard time, have you not?" Yeah. I said, "Well, just do this, that, the other," and they would come back, and they would go, and I would hear them go, "Oh, he's all right. Make a friend of him." But it's not like that because times have changed, and things as you
Yeah,
quite
politeness-
rightly
People
said,
get suspicious of
things-
people, don't they?
They do
Start
today.
from the- yes,
Those days they
yes.
didn't.
You've already
today
started.
Everything's aggressive, fight,
Yes.
war, killing, murder, and I think, hey, wait a minute, this is doing my head in.
I think it still
This is doing
applies
my
what
head
you've
in.
just said, but I think you're starting from further back. If you're going on your key analogy, the key's already not even in the straight bit before you've started, because you've got a suspected mistrust
Yeah.
from the outset.
Absolutely.
So you've got to get to the equality position first before
Absolutely.
you can start going the other. So it's
Absolutely.
much harder, I think, now.
Well, sometimes you can just. I used to get people going, "What do you want?" Just to talk to you.
Well, that's exactly what do you want, you know.
Talk to you.
When he first wanted me on the show here, you know, last year when he started coming in here regularly, he said, and that you're sort of thinking, what's the catch? You know, he's kind of sort of say, oh, you want paid money to sit and talk to the nation here, you know. Whereas really, you know, we're great mates and we get on.
Okay,
And
tell me about this stuff that happens a lot in India and elsewhere too, where matches are fixed. What is this match fixing?
Oh yeah, well, hang on, you've just turned the subject completely. Yeah,
confessions.
Can I take this stuff down?
There is such a thing.
That match fixing,
Match fixing.
is
Where you go and purposely lose for
or
somebody.
spot fixing.
Or spot fixing.
What
is match fixing? I'm not saying tell me about the names.
It's just basically completely unacceptable. When people,
It's very unsportsmanly, isn't it?
100%. Yeah, it's people making money from the slight
Betting and
delay,
gambling.
the slight delay in Sky. So if there's a game in England, there's a slight delay. There'll be a wicket goes down, and somebody will ring and say, "Put a bet on." For
It's
that
long
ball.
enough to have a bet between in the
100%. Well,
delay.
it takes 2 seconds to have a bet.
Okay.
It takes no time at all to say, right, I want this ball's going to go for 6, and that is.
No, why do they bet on such stupid things?
It's betting on odds, isn't it?
Bet on anything.
Well, it's
So again, it's
because
some people-
people,
betting instinct,
people
isn't
can
it?
make a lot of money,
Okay.
and it'll ruin the game. It has to stop because it'll end up ruining the game. It's unacceptable.
So that is spot fixing, where people are prejudging what could be happening 2 seconds
Yeah.
later in Spice.
Match-
What about people playing badly just to make their team lose? because-
Match fixing
Match fixing.
is like the well documented one was Mohammed Amir and Salman Butt. Salman Butt was the captain. He got a very, very young lad who, whether or not he got forced into doing it, and he said, right, you are going to bowl a no ball on this ball. So the captain had already put a bet on, and
see.
and he said, right, on the 4th ball of this over, you bowl a no ball. He obviously put loads of money on it, and it was a no ball, and
And the captain made a lot of money.
It's a good job.
So it
You
was
want to
an-
know what ball was, wasn't it? He asked me at the beginning.
So,
but that is
Okay, then
unacceptable.
Must be hard. That's maybe why they're letting them go now, because that last test
So
match there was
there was a
18 no
lot-
balls they didn't get.
Well, all the TV stuff now is
Okay.
just, the umpires don't really
Oh,
look.
yeah,
then
that's
tell
it.
me about when you get a cricket ball, it's nice and shiny. Then people rub it here and rub it there to make it rough. They do all
Who's
sorts
gave
of-
you these questions?
I've seen these things, you know.
They don't make it.
I know
make
nothing
it
about
smooth.
cricket, but
you
even I.
You've mentioned the 3 most documented things in world cricket.
Controversial.
Hello, caller, who's that, please? Can you save us from the deep waters we're getting into? Who's that, please?
Hello, Dr. Saab.
It's you again. You haven't brought any food.
Listen, I'm coming over, and I hope Mr. Onion doesn't make me cry when I come over. I thought I'd get that one and get it out of the way.
Yeah, you got it out of the way very badly.
We're
But come
finishing
in quick.
1:30.
Yeah.
You better be quick.
I'm coming in about nearly over the Regis Bridge, so I'll be
Right,
there
oh,
about-
see you soon.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
See you soon.
Is that
Okay.
separate?
That's Zafar, yeah. Who else?
He was bringing pakoras.
Oh.
Onion bhaji.
No onion badges. Can you? What?
In
preparation is
Urdu,
that?
you know.
I mean, he should know.
In Urdu, Baji means older sister.
Actually, he might be.
So
late,
Onion
but
Baji means older sister.
He's probably.
So
That's
you can
why.
can call your sister Onion Baji.
So I
you know.
call her Onion Bhaji.
Yeah. What's her name?
Christine.
So Christine, you can say
Christine
Christine.
Baji.
Christine Baji.
Badgie onion. Your next kid, call it Badgie.
Arose by any other name.
Oh, an onion by any other name will still make you cry.
Since we're getting near the end, should we mention this event again? Because that's one of the
Yes,
things that
please
we're
tell
here.
us
So
about the
I'll
event on
tell
the
you again
25th.
for those
The
that's
purpose of
just tuning in. Graham Onions, Stuart Broad, Jimmy Anderson will be appearing in a charity event for Graham's benefit year at the Lancastrian Suite on the 25th of September.
Which is the Federation Brewery.
Federation Brewery, old place. Tickets 40 quid, VIP. Meet the players, food, cheaper drinks than many places at that place, unless
Raffle.
it's changed. Raffles, auctions, all sorts of
Entertainment.
stuff to raise funds for the charities that Graham supports, which he told us about was the PCA, was it cricket?
The PCA Benevolent Fund, yeah, the Steve Cram's Coco,
Yes.
Comrade of Children's Overseas, the Sir Bobby Robson Foundation, and the one really close to my heart, which is the Special Care
Baby unit at the QE.
At the QE Hospital, yeah, so...
So it's going to be a great night. As I say, those 3 stars, Graham Onion, Stuart Broad and Anderson, and plus all the great stars.
And who are
from
you
Durham.
bringing in?
Who am I?
Who are you contacting to be?
I've got a few. Tom and his son.
No, Tom Fanny Brown.
And his son-in-law's cricket team are likely to come, and I've got some mates up in Cromarton. He's took the leaflet to get to his team. He knows
But I'm
as well.
coming with Masood Mirza
All right, yes,
at the
great.
Casper's table.
So if anybody wants tickets, you've got to phone Tracy on 07970 485 979.
Or backwards 979-584-07970. No, I said correctly.
Now nobody knows the number. I will say it again. Don't take any notice of what he
Let's
just
do it
said.
together. 1, 2, 3.
07970-485-979.
It looks like
It's
a
stereo, doesn't it? Look as though we prepared it, doesn't it?
Sounds like the 118 advert, you know. We don't quite look it, and it's not just the color, it's the size, shape, and. But it
So,
was
it's a great night and a great, good course. So get
25th
yourselves along.
September, Friday. Tickets from Tracy 07970485979.
Sure. That's showing off now.
Thank you.
Okay. It only goes to leaves me to thank you very much, and we'll definitely be there. And if you want any coverage, we'll do that because you're doing a charity event. We're happy to help in any way. Anytime you want any announcements, Tracy can phone in, you can phone in, your friends can phone in, anyone that phones in, because it helps everyone. It helps Spice raise its profile. It helps me show off a
And
little
get
bit.
people from the charity to come in on
Yes.
my show, or possibly on the other days' shows,
Yes,
whichever one
fantastic.
fits in. Is
Yes.
Thursday is probably the
So
best. show.
Thursday, this Thursday I'm not there because I'm going
No,
to
not this
boot camp
Thursday.
about
The following
filmmaking.
Thursday we're promoting Phil Pewitt and the Great North Run for
Yes.
Calvert Trust.
Yes.
The following week I'm away on holidays, so you've got to sort it out yourself.
Okay.
Angus might come in then. 24th, the day before this, maybe that's a good time.
Well, actually, Malcolm and I have missed an opportunity today for music. So, if which Thursday are you talking about? The 24th?
No, the one before that.
17th.
I'm away on holiday then. So
If 17th, you can make it.
What day?
It's
what
a
day is
Thursday.
that?
Thursday.
Yeah.
12 to 2.
So, can we do Indian classical music? What's the difference? Well,
This
Steve,
is the Malcolm Man Doc Show.
We'll sing it in classical. Indian
Doesn't
classical
sound
music.
like that, does it?
Yes, it will make it that way. And it'll be really nice, fun to meet more characters. I mean, if you've got young sportsmen that you want coming, people that you really admire, young
Yes.
lads.
Yeah.
Well, why aren't there more women in cricket?
They are.
Well, there is a lot more,
Playing
a
now.
lot more than normal. They're playing the women ashes and stuff, and I think that's great. It gets the women involved, and actually, there's a lot of people that support them. A lot of people, the England cricketers have just got contracts, and their money's gone up. And there's people that the only way that money goes up is by people wanting to watch them. And
Yes.
I think the profiles is certainly getting bigger, which is
I think
great.
it's good, like they're doing today, is put the women's on 2020, then the men's. So
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
you're like sort of going in and you're seeing stuff that you wouldn't necessarily go
Definitely, yeah.
until you've got into it. And think,
If
well, let's
Bangalore can have a Harley Davidson women's group, there is, type it, and it's very popular because women, I mean, they look nicer on a motorbike.
Absolutely.
And in India, when you put your helmet on, your hair can be streaming. Here, whether it's a man or a beast or a bloke, they all dress so completely. Like that funny fellow on that car show. What's that show? That the fellow who slapped somebody and got kicked out.
Top Gear.
Yeah, in Top Gear.
Top Gear, yeah.
Who's that fellow with a helmet on? That
Oh,
There's a
Stig.
Stig.
Stig, yes.
Yeah.
Here everyone looks like a Stig. You don't know whether it's a pretty woman or a pretty man. You can't tell. Like
Yeah,
in
but,
India.
but in India and, or
Streaming hair.
Pakistan, but they don't wear any. They wear shorts and that's it.
Yeah, why not? What's the point of having a sports motorbike if you can't see everything?
Yeah, but you also can't go faster than 5 miles an
No.
hour because there's
Well,
so many people on the road.
Well, I was at Goa and with my second wife, and I said to the fellow, helmet. He said, what for? Policeman. He said, what policeman? You know, in Goa there is no policeman, but you're going put at 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Even if you fall, you scratch your knee. You know. Okay, well, thank you, gentlemen. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I've enjoyed the show. Thank you for
Yes,
adjusting to
been
the
good.
times. Malcolm, thank you very much for coming late and then cancelling the show, and we'll do it on Thursday.
Thank you for my-
I'll come
my-
later if you want.
No, you can come on Thursday.
Yeah.
But we can fix a Monday. So I'll let you guys.
You just a couple of minutes, just I've got
Yeah.
this
Okay.
idea.
Thank you very much.
knock it on
And
the head
end
or
of the
not,
show.
whatever.
Off to the mailer.
Okay,
Thank you.
Right up.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Spice FM, to entertain, educate and enlighten. Text us on 80039 or email us at studio@spicefm.co.uk.
Asian Business Connections brings you the next incredible AB Curry Club on Thursday, the 23rd of July, 6 p.m. at the Business Factory in North Tyneside. Hear from the Northeast Local Enterprise Partnership on the £700 million European funding that helps support local communities and
For their country.
Well, some of them didn't want to go, and there was a lot of talent, especially in poets and other things. But I tell you what, although I said that I didn't like sport, that's not actually strictly true. I used to love to watch, at Edgbaston and Lourdes and stuff like that, and I liked to watch it on the village green. It calmed me down, and it's the essence. Of
So
England. It's one
that's
of the
the
essences of
traditional.
England. The real.
And they used to wear white, all of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's only-
With a border on the sweater, pullovers and all. Now in India it's green and pink and blue. Would you say that cricket, along with other games, has become excessively commercialized?
I think without a doubt.
In India
yeah.
particularly,
Yeah,
film
I think
actors
so.
are buying people like slaves.
Which is incredible,
Well,
isn't it? I mean, it's like Spice FM buying graham onions for
For £5 a kilo.
You're not getting paid for this. He gets me every week and doesn't even get a cup of tea.
Well, that's not part of the rules. No, I mean, obviously
We do this for
It-
fun.
it's-
And it's almost meditational.
It is,
The
it
slow-paced things
It
make
is,
you
yeah.
get. It's like moving
Because
wallpaper.
you don't concentrate on it
Yeah.
the whole time. You cannot sit and watch every. Well, you do.
Whereas the-
But you might drift off a bit and then you come round and then.
But it's a game of chess. And,
Oh, it
and
is, very much so.
So
Yes.
5 days,
Yeah.
the best team will generally win. I know there's draws, and people
Yeah,
say, "Well,
yeah,
how can
yeah.
there be a draw
Yeah.
after 5 days?" But it's a serious
And the
skill to-
strategy
to-
and planning
yeah,
and putting the right
100%,
player. I mean, that's what the captain's job is.
Yeah.
Is to put the right player.
Yeah.
The opposite is like boxing, which is total contact, extremely violent,
over in seconds sometimes.
over in seconds,
Yeah,
and
it can be.
it's very high adrenaline. Whereas cricket is where it's smooth moving, as Malcolm was pointing. That is on the village green and
It's the whole atmosphere.
yeah.
of it. You
Obviously,
know.
you haven't played Test cricket. What's your opinion of the 2020 50-50? I call it 50. You know. What's your preference in all
Yeah,
that?
well, the pinnacle for every cricketer, and you can ask anybody, is Test match cricket. Without a doubt, it is.
Even though it's probably not as popular publicly as the other stuff.
Yeah, because people think, well, 5 days. How can that go on for 5 days? But we. it's
Malcolm
changed.
is a regular-
It has changed.
Have you played in
Yeah.
the IPL?
I haven't, no.
Would you like?
So shall I ask Shah Rukh Khan to call you over?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah, just give him a call. Try and get him
Shah Rukh
on.
bhai. Oh, you're busy. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the sad thing now is everybody loves Test match cricket, and it's the as we say, it's the white clothing, and it's the longer form of the game. It is a Test.
Slow and
It is
steady,
the-
as Malcolm quite rightly points out. The
And it's
willow,
great, it's
the
great.
sound of the leather, and the tuck sound and everything.
Yeah.
It's just something about it.
No, it's very gentlemanly, slow pace. It's like meditational.
It's hard for
It
some
is,
people to
it
understand
is.
that you can sit and watch a game for 5 days that is quite slow
But it's-
paced.
but it's
I mean,
medi-
I was one of my ambitions, and I achieved it. Although I ended up having a heart attack a few weeks later. I don't think it's related. I was at the Ashes Test in Adelaide, the 2013, and while we got thrashed, it was still a great occasion to go there every day, and we were almost beaten on day one.
Yeah.
But you go there every day, and you get the feeling of everybody's still fighting for it,
Yeah.
even right down to last
But
minute.
it's involvement.
In my eyes, and I think every cricketer's eyes, Test match cricket is the best, and it is absolutely imperative that we keep it, because they're talking about maybe reducing it. So just reducing and get rid of a lot of the stats, just to have four-day Test matches, and it's really quite sad because it's gone on for many years.
I think it's unfortunate
The
this
legends
this
of the
year
game.
that the two games have only just gone on just over 2 days, because I think that as much as the swashbuckling style of the 50 over and the 2020 is good to see, and it was you talked about it being like chess. The Jeff Boycotts of the past that I was, and you probably saw him some point in your life. I don't know, at the end of, I don't know, but he was solid, and you were playing a lot of defensive stuff, but it was still intriguing to watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why games needed 5 days. You played 5 days, and you got to draw after 5 days, and it wasn't even raining. Whereas now, like that game when Australia were up by 60, it was 2.5 days. End of game.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's certainly a time and a place for T20 and or 2020 or 50 over cricket, because you've got to remember that people who pay the bills and pay the wages and stuff are people who want to watch that. Cricket in India and Asian countries is lucrative. It's massive.
Sure, because of the numbers.
It hasn't
Just
taken
purely
off
numbers,
here
yeah.
yet,
Big
but I
companies.
think it still could, because I mean in Australia, they have
The Big Bash and
Big
stuff,
Bash,
yeah,
so
yeah.
they're getting 50,000 at some of them games, but it's very much family going. I think it's whether it's more because it's in the cities, whereas here it's spread. Chester Street's not the capital of the world.
Yeah,
It's
true,
but and I guess the other places and the other counties is the same. It was interesting. Birmingham Warwickshire changed the name to Birmingham. Whether they were trying to put a city hook on it.
No, I think they probably are.
Yeah, but who are Durham? What is it? Durham? It's be called Durham.
Yeah.
Probably
Well, this is. I mean,
still be the same.
if I was Durham's chief executive, and you got asked the question, what is the most lucrative? I think as a cricket club, you would probably admit that one-day cricket, and especially T20, is where you get the young kids coming through in the crowds. They want to watch that now because that's all they see on TV.